Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you haven't, please like and subscribe to the page. And today we're going to be getting into the Green Lantern, Season 2, Issue Number 1. So a little bit of a recap. Season 1, we saw the conclusion of Black Star Incursion and the incidents that occurred with Controller Mew. And Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp are really taking Hal Jordan back to Space Cop. Back to how Hal Jordan used to be back in the day. So I'm really excited to get into this. It's going to be its own story arc of its own, so if you're new to Green Lantern, this is definitely something you can jump into right away and just be able to enjoy the comic. So without further ado, let's dive in. So we open up this issue with Hal in front of the Guardians of the Universe, and they're pretty much telling him, like, you've done a great job yet again. Thank you for saving the universe. They tell him, like, we've given you every honor that we can possibly bestow upon somebody. So how do we reward a man who needs or expects nothing from us? And this is when they present Hal Jordan with a new power battery. And it's got some unique features in it that we're going to find out about later. And then all the Green Lanterns together say the motto, "In darkest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light." And then we cut to Hal being awoken from the middle of the night. And he's told that a new reality is dawning and the elders are having to go on. So they're saying a new rebirth is coming. It's imminent. The cosmic grail has awoken and summons them to fulfill their destiny laid upon since the days of Krona. They're departing for what they call the ultimate war, or a multi-crisis. And then we see the Guardians start to disappear and their robes left behind, and Hal left naked and confused, trying to figure out what this is supposed to mean. And then we see a bunch of Green Lanterns at what is essentially a police law enforcement convention recruitment, and it's all these different people of different races and species getting together and talking about their planet's technology and what they use for law enforcement, things of that nature. And we have a mineral type being by the name of Reich of Karlax, and he has some kind of crystallizer weapon. It's pretty unique, and it's got its own abilities that are pretty outstanding, I would say. But before they're able to demonstrate the gun, Hal Jordan's called off. Before he heads off to meet with the Guardian that's left, he runs into John Stewart and Jess. And it's just a nice little, reunion of Earth Lanterns. And they joke and they talk about how Hal's just not a Earth guy. Once he found out that there was more than just his backyard, he kind of just wanted to never be at Earth again. And then he tells him, he's got to take off. Got secret missions, all that, yada yada. Tells them to have fun on Earth. And we see Hal arrive, and then he starts talking to one of the Guardians. And they have a conversation about why they're sending someone like Hal Jordan to an interplanetary cop meeting. And the Guardian informs him that they want to induce some more Green Lanterns. They need more lanterns in the Corps, and they suspect those are fertile grounds for recruitment. And then they start to discuss the replacements for the departed Guardians. And Hal's not sure how this is exactly going to work out. Like, these are immortal beings. But there's a body orchard of Mother Juno on the planet Maltus. She lets him know that his trip's been arranged, and so it's time for him to take off before he's getting a new partner. And obviously Hal Jordan, being the person that he is, this isn't something that he wants. He's never liked really working with others, let alone a partner. And especially for a mission like this, it just doesn't, he says it doesn't feel necessary. But he ends up getting Special Officer Reich that we've seen previously. And this obviously pisses Hal Jordan off. He's just like, how are you going to give me rock salt with zero experience of lantern work? He's like, I get it, people have to learn, but at the same time, I'm Hal Jordan. Why do I have to bring this guy along with me? And she really doesn't acknowledge it. She's just kind of like, this is what you're gonna do. And keep in mind that Malthus lapsed into neo-barbarism, or near it at least. And then we see planet Malthus in Sector 3001. It's the birthplace of the Guardians of the Universe, and it's gone into full chaos. We see Planet of the Apes, essentially, and it's just full-out war. And they're referred to as primorgs, so essentially primates and cyborgs mixed together. And you see a variety of the different things, you know, robotic eyes on some of these and things of that nature. And we see the primorgs break into Mother Juna, her facility, and burn all the eggs that would have been the new Guardians of the Universe. They just completely torch everything. And then we see the arrival of Hal Jordan and Reich. And they're realizing that they're too late. And as Hal's attempting to handle the situation with the apes, Reich is using his gun that has a unique ability that lets him kind of see what past events happened using the minerals in the surrounding area. And so, using this technology, he's able to detect where she is and what happened, and realize that there was a seed left behind. And while all this is happening, Hal Jordan is just beating the crap out of Primorgs. And so they decide that they're going to try to track her down. They're going to try to follow her using Reich's unique abilities to be able to track her through the minerals around her. And the seed that they had found recently, the ring identifies as blueprints for the new Guardians. And we see Mother June with some of her creations that have pretty much just gone off the haywire, and they're ready to make their creator pay. And this is where we see the arrival of Hal Jordan and Reich, and immediately Hal Jordan is subdued by these guys. Now, Reich's species lives by a very strict protocol, so in doing all this, Hal Jordan tells him to improvise, and in doing so, he causes his weapon to be torn from him. And he just freaks out. Like, he's like, oh god, like, I'm going down. Like, I broke my protocol, I don't know what to do here. And so what Hal Jordan does is really unique. He uses his ring as a shrink ray through Reich, because he's more of a crystal mineral, and he just shrinks all the gorillas around him, and they turn into like little 6-inch gorillas. It's pretty awesome. I love it. But realizing that's not something that is really gonna help too much, because there is like a horde of gorillas coming at them, Hal gets the idea to essentially use his ring and turn these Primorgs back into their original state, back to their seedlings, back to being a seed. And after he's done this, Hal's just like, that's an interesting upgrade. Like, this is something new to his ring. This is something, it's more of an AI. It's more connected with his consciousness, because he's even asking it, like, did you do that? Did I do that? Like, whose idea was that? And it's just really unique what this ring can do, and how it's becoming its consciousness of its own. So they rescue Mother Juna, and she reveals to them that this was all orchestrated. Like, this is something the Guardians have been doing for years and years and years, trying to figure out and how to study how societies fall and dwindle. And this was just another test. But Malice also provides a simulation training exercise for candidates in evaluation. And Reich's a little bit confused, and Hal's just like, I guess you just passed the audition, buddy. Welcome to the Green Lantern induction. And so pretty much this was all just a setup to see if he would qualify to be able to be a Green Lantern, to see how he did in this situation. And she goes into a little bit of backstory about the Guardians of the Universe, and how they're triple-celled organisms in a thermal vent to become a tool-using primate collective in less than 500 turns around the sun. In comparison to humans, where it takes us millennia and so on and so forth, it drastically evolved. But they stopped. They stopped reproducing, they stopped dying, they stopped innovating. And she said that these new Guardians are gonna be more. They're gonna be better, they're gonna be different, they're gonna know how to love, they're gonna know how to feel, they're gonna know what it is to die, to change. So we're gonna see a whole new young Guardians. And we're taken back to planet Oa, which is a central precinct for the Green Lantern Corps. And the Green Lantern Corps is introduced to the young Guardians of the Universe. And their first words pretty much are like, frankly, we're unimpressed with you guys. Like, everything's being under evaluation. Your current methods of policing are currently under review. But right now, there's an urgent matter in Sector 2814. Somebody has been out doing crazy things. They murdered a Green Lantern with their bare hands. And who else do they pick but Lantern Jordan of Sector 2814.1. And you see Hal Jordan's face just turned to pure anger. Like, of all the places he did not want to go, Hal Jordan's going back to Sector 2814, back to Earth. And he's ordered to stay there until the threat is identified and eliminated. And then we pick up on planet Earth with Hal Jordan hitchhiking and getting picked up by a trucker. And Hal's just like, take me to the nearest bar. And that will be the end of issue number 1 of the Green Lantern Season 2. Tell me what you guys think. I'm really enjoying it. I love seeing Hal Jordan, back in his element, back as a space cop, and seeing them, just explore the universe. That's why I've always loved Green Lantern and why I think it's so unique. So tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment, and if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the page. And until the next video.